Set win over Michigan. We'll also take a peek at the newest in training room equipment, and we'll scout the Hoosiers of Indiana, one of the surprise leaders in the conference race. All that and more coming up next. Play in 2 weeks. Michigan's lost 2 games by a total of 2 points. Mo, I'd give a guy gray hairs.
It's trying to, Jim. You know, it's a sad thing in a lot of ways, but we got to hang together, and I think we can still have a good year. I think that's the key.
The Iowa game final score 24-23. This was one where it really, again, is one that easily could have been won, and it looked like in the second half the offense, which was the strength of the ball club coming into the ball game, just kind of...
Right, I never thought, Jim, we were in great sync offensively all day. I thought we were a little disrupted. John Vaughn had a twisted ankle that I thought was good going into the game, and he wasn't quite as sharp. It's not his fault. I thought we were a little off in our passing game, and we were playing good defense, which I was really happy. And, you know, in the second and third quarters, we had the win in our face. I didn't want to make any stupid moves and turn the ball over, and so we played a little conservative at times.
Yeah, opening up, the defense came in and stuffed their big back.
Right, and that I was really happy to see. And we shut off their running game, and then they hurt us at the end with the passing, and then we come out here, and John had a couple good runs here. But he just wasn't as quick in things. And
I know you didn't like the way he was running east and west rather than north and south. He wasn't leveling it off as much.
Looking for cuts, yeah. Here's Bunch on a 3rd and short, getting a key first down, which we failed to do on basically the same play later in the game. Here's John again coming around the end, and I thought John played well. I don't think he was at his same performance as he has been because of the ankle. Then we get a field goal block here, which was just ridiculous. The snap wasn't real good, and the hold wasn't the placement, and I don't think we blocked, obviously, properly for it.
But the defense holds, and you get a big play from the special teams.
Right, and the special teams trip came through. Our special teams, something we worked hard on all fall, and it's starting to pay dividends. Our kickoff returns, we haven't had a lot of return yardage on our punt, and there we get a big punt return, which really helps. Here on Elvis on 3rd and 8 goes back and does an excellent job finding Derek Alexander down inside the 5-yard line.
One of the only times you went deep during the game.
Right. We had a couple opportunities. They were taking a lot of the deep stuff away from us. And as I said, you know, we were trying to control the ball to try to keep our defense off the field. And we really didn't convert on the crucial 3rd and 2s, particularly on 2 occasions.
That gives you the 7-0 lead. Then they come back and basically go away from the running game and start to go to the air.
Right, which we wanted them to do, and we felt if we could force them to do that, and I think they did a better job throwing the ball than they had the last couple weeks.
And this might have been his longest run, Bell, the big 250-pounder, but basically they hurt you through the air.
Yes, they did. And here we got, you know, we had some pressure at times, and I think at the end we wore out where if our offense could have kept the ball, it would have really helped.
Special teams again.
Yes, we had a couple key things right there. We block an extra. Jim, we aren't getting the pressure. There's times where we blitzed them and then he got the ball off, made a couple good plays, but basically on our 4-man rush, we aren't getting the pressure that we would normally get. And the guy we miss in there a little bit is Hutchinson. His replacement isn't bad or anything like that, but it's not the same thing. It's not the true veteran.
That was their big play in the second quarter. Gets them down in there, and then this one, you just had a coverage problem.
Yes, here we're playing zone coverage. They make a great play-action fake, and then Rodgers throws a good pass in there. And there we had a play for the run on 1st and 7 at the goal, and they come up with a big play there on the pass.
You get a big play again from your return guy,
right.
Derek Alexander this time.
Yeah, our kicking game, as I said before, and particularly our kickoff here, has paid great dividends throughout the year, and we got to make sure it continues.
Then you go back to the running game again, and it's working.
Right. John comes off here, and there you see he's not at full strength. And as I said, I don't think he played badly, but we all know he has played better than this before because I don't think he had all of his facilities really to move.
John Vaughn again goes inside, but here's one where you normally expect him to break that and go, and there's an example of why he might not been at full strength.
Yes, we get and here he comes up picking up a crucial first down though on 3rd and 2, which we ran later in the game too, and it didn't work, and there's no reason for it. And Allen Jefferson came in here, ran strong, got us in the end zone, and we went up, and that was a big touchdown for us.
Put you up 14 seconds to the first half as you'll ever see. You make your only turnover of the half right here.
Right, we didn't get, John didn't feel like he got the ball here, and we had a miscue on the handoff. And they recovered the ball and had a golden opportunity to score. And then, as kids will do sometimes, after they pick up a first down here, they ran one play and let the clock run out. And I'm sure that Coach Fry feels like their quarterback should have called timeout, or they should have got the word to him, and that was a key first stop there right before half.
And you see Hayden Fry very upset. You're ahead 14-7 at the half. You've got to feel fairly confident at this point because you got away with one at the end of the half, not going in tied. So you got to feel like momentum's on your side.
Right, and, you know, I really felt good about our defense. And in the second quarter, as I said, you know, there was a fairly strong win, and I didn't want to get crazy in that particular situation, so I wanted to run the ball and try to keep our defense off the field. And then we attempted to do the same thing, really, in the third quarter.
So going into the second half, any other adjustments other than the fact that you knew you wanted to keep the defense off the field a little bit, go to the run more?
No, we wanted to mix the run and pass in there, and there was a couple times that we had passes called that Elvis really went to the running game, and it worked out well for us, and a couple times it didn't. There were a few more passes, Jim, I'll tell you, that were called in the game that then were executed, but we had to take what the defense was giving us.
Okay. The second half, the Wolverines don't get the job done late. The Hawkeyes do. We'll be back to take a look at those highlights when Michigan Replay continues.
He's a very tough quarterback, and he did well. I mean, we hit him, and he got right back up, and he still made the plays, and he made the crucial passes at crucial times, and that spelled our downfall. Anytime you have a quarterback like that that can do that for a team, and they have a chance to win every time they get the ball, and that's just what they did. They had a chance to win, and they did.
Now available on home video, the Schembechler years. From the 1969 upset of Ohio State to the back-to-back Big Ten championships of '88 and '89, Bo looks back on his 21-year career at Michigan.
For God's sake.
You know, this time, you know, I'm trying to think, hey, we're going to have a good offensive line. We got to depend on them. We got to get some blocking adjustments. And we missed a couple holes, and we missed a couple blocks in there, obviously, and that really hurt us.
On their first possession, then they start to come back. Your defense holds them, though, even though they're bending again but not breaking.
Right. At least we made them throw the ball, and really the whole thing here is the pressure. And if you get a little more pressure and you get the quarterback rattled, you try to get them out of rhythm. We got in a rhythm last week a little bit because we had a little extra time. Here Rodgers makes a good throw, and their receiver does a good job coming back and catching the ball.
They move the ball down. This is their first possession. And they go right down the middle again. They were getting the ball over the linebackers in front of the safeties, too.
Just off of the fingertips there, Chris Bone, and then they come up and kick a field goal, which made it 14-10. But still, again, we didn't allow them to get in the end zone, which I thought was a key there.
And this is a play that I'm sure makes you mad still as you watch it.
Right, that play we should have made it. I don't care. You got a foot to go. You got to make it some way. It's a play we did earlier in the game, and it worked out well for us. And then we come right back. We block the kick. David Ritter blocks the kick. Dwayne Ware picks it up and runs it in. And, you know, we're in a position as 20-10. And as I said, I feel good about our defense. I want to possess the ball and go from there.
You went for 2 on that play, didn't make it. And that turns out to be important.
Right. It is you know, the one thing I wanted to try to do is offset it with points if I could. If we had a 2-point play that would work. The previous time the 2-point play was there, we had an automatic checked in there, and really we checked to the play when we shouldn't have. And I have to take that responsibility, Jim, but we should have brought it over and kicked that ball.
Here they come, and this is into the fourth quarter now, and Iowa is making a move, and they get into the end zone here on a really close one.
Right. They quarterback sneaked this, and there was an offsides in there, but one over the top. And I don't, you know, it's hard to tell on the camera exactly what happened there.
Then you get the ball back, and really, this is an opportunity for you to put it away to a degree, and really the offense starts to pick it up.
Right, we got Jefferson running here. We thought he was a little fresher than John and had good movement. He picks up runs of 8 and 11 in here, and then we come back and we hit him on a screen here, and he breaks it off for about 8-10 yards here. And we had the ball moving. Then we come up on a 3rd and 2, missed the blocking adjustment, had to kick the field goal, and J.D. came through. And really, when you analyze this whole thing, 23-17, you think you're in pretty good shape, particularly they had to start from their own 15-yard line. But unfortunately, they're going to drive the ball down the whole way.
And again, I think the key is you see how much time Rodgers has.
Right. Here you're going to see, as you indicate, the time that he has to throw. We had a busted coverage here where a guy got loose that we should have had down the sideline on a big catch there to Bell for about, I believe it was 19 yards.
And it wasn't that you weren't trying to put pressure on, but you blitzed on that play. You missed an assignment in coverage, right, and you got out there.
They ran a draw play here and got him down in good field position. And here the whole time, if you can keep a little pressure in there, they just make a great play. An extra super catch on their part, and the quarterback threw it low where the guy picked it up and got it down inside the 5, cleared the 1, and then they go in and score.
They go in to score, kick the extra point, make it 24-23. You've got a minute and something left. All you need to get is in field goal range, and then it happens.
Right. We come back, and we've been good. You know, we got sacked on the first play here, so we came up second, and I think it was 19 or so, Jim. And we tried to shove one in there to the fullback, and it got picked off by their linebacker. They played it well.
Again, you talked about being conservative in the second half and trying to protect the defense a little bit. Did you think that after the game, maybe hindsight being 20/20, you should have aired it out a little bit, try to score as much as you could?
No, I like to get the ball to Desmond and Derek a little bit more, but you know, I'm not. As I look at it, and you go over those things as a coach 100,000 times, and yet you say to yourself, you're in a good position. Your defense hasn't been playing bad, particularly in the first half and things. They're going to have a hard time driving the ball the length of the field, and you know, I'd have felt bad doing it any other way. And had we gotten the one key first down on the 3rd and 2 and another one on a 3rd and 1, I think it would have been a whole lot different story. But I guess you can second-guess yourself at any time. But no, you know, that's the way I think the game should be played. And if I had to do over again, and a lot of the things I'd do the same way.
And the other thing, you make a real good point, the fact that, hey, you got one of the best offensive lines maybe in Michigan history. Pretty darn good running backs, and you ought to be able to hold and possess the ball and move the chains.
Exactly. And in that case, that's what we have to do in order to play the game as a team. And we did go back one time when we threw over the middle and we dropped a key pass there that could have picked up 15, 20 yards. And I just didn't feel like our passing game was the same that it had been, and I really felt that we could run the football. And making no excuses, but I would not do that any differently.
Okay. That was the story of the football game. Michigan suffers their second loss. They'll be back, though, but they need some guys to come back from injuries. And maybe we've got a story next that'll show you how they're going to get back a little quicker than expected. That's next when Michigan Replay continues.
We're not going to put our heads down. We're going to keep fighting in that, and, you know, all kind of things happen, and there may still be a chance for us down the road, but we're just going to have to play ball and win the rest of the games.
For the latest University of Michigan sports information, call the Wolverine.
Shut off their running game, and then they hurt us at the end with the passing, and then we come out here, and John had a couple good runs here. But he just wasn't as quick and things, and...
I know you didn't like the way he was running east and west rather than north and south. He wasn't leveling it off as much.
Looking for cuts, yeah. Here's Bunch on a 3rd and short, getting a key first down, which we failed to do on base.
Mo, I'd give a guy gray hairs.
It's trying to, Jim. You know, we just... It's a sad thing in a lot of ways, but we got to hang together, and I think we can still have a good year. I think that's the key.
The Iowa game final score 24-23. This was one where it really, again, is one that easily could have been won, and it looked like in the second half the offense, which was the strength of the ball club coming into the ball game, just kind of...
Right, I never thought, Jim, we were in great sync offensively all day. I thought we were a little disrupted. John Vaughn had a twisted ankle that I thought was good going into the game, and he wasn't quite as sharp. It's not his fault. I thought we were a little off in our passing game.
That win over Michigan. We'll also take a peek at the newest in training room equipment, and we'll scout the Hoosiers of Indiana, one of the surprise leaders in the conference race. All that and more coming up next.
Play in 2 weeks. Michigan's lost 2 games by a total of 2 points.
And we were playing good defense, which I was really happy. And, you know, in the second and third quarters, we had the win in our face. I didn't want to make any stupid moves and turn the ball over, and so we played a little conservative at times.
Yeah, opening up, the defense came in and stuffed their big back.
Right, and that I was really happy to see. And we